Greetings and welcome to the ROI Clear podcast. My name is Ray Hightower, and today we are fortunate to have as our guest Mr. Jorge Moscoso Jr. Jorge has an eclectic background. He's been in information technology, he's been in construction, and he is currently a real estate investor based in the state of Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Jorge Moscoso. Welcome, Jorge.
Hey, Ray, thank you so much. It's always great to be, here with you, with ROI, with the TN team, and yeah, pleased to be here.
Yes, very, very glad to have you here. To kick us off, why don't we start with an elevator pitch? And for those who are new to ROI Clear, Jorge is on an elevator with someone he wants to influence. Jorge, what would you say to that person in the course of an elevator ride?
I would tell them, well, just tell me in 2 sentences why you're here, where you're going. That's it. You just got to keep that goal in mind. Every day I wake up, write 2 or 3 things that I want to do. I would also tell them, okay, if you want to know the American dream story, I'll tell you that I came with 2 suitcases, $500, and each year I just make sure that I either meet or surpass my goals. Some of them I don't meet, but I make sure that I have a plan to get there. So if you want to talk about, growing professionally, personally, or, even socially, if you have a dream of service, sure, let's grab coffee.
Man, that is a fascinating launch into a story. 2 suitcases, $500, American dream. Let's dig into that. Let's start off. Your accent is clearly not from Tennessee. So tell us a little bit about where you started off, where you were born, some of your formative experiences, and let's dig into that, please.
Absolutely. I was fortunate, and I'm still very fortunate to have both my parents with me. They are actually in Brentwood. They did everything so that they already knew we were going to come to the States. Right? We have family all over the East Coast, and they knew that they wanted us to have the best education possible. So we were never rich. That's not what we're looking for, but we look to, a good life and all that, healthy and ways to bless everybody else. So they sent us to some of the best schools down in Ecuador. I'm from Guayaquil, La Perla del Pacifico. I really love that, Perla del Pacifico, shiny thing from the Pacific, right?
Yes.
And grew up in construction with my dad. Half of my life, my childhood and teenage years was in construction places, buildings or remodeling. And the other one was with my friends, in my free time. Then getting ready, came over. I had, in 5 years, I'm either going to be at the top of my professional career or start owning businesses. Right now, I'm going to, I already have 2 companies. I'm investing with an amazing team here in Tennessee with you, Ray. And, we have also a superstar in Arizona that helps me underwrite some multifamily deals. And it's pretty exciting. There's so much going on, Ray. And in this place, Tennessee has given so much. And Nashville is ready to give even more and create more opportunities.
Right. And especially when you're service-minded as you are, the opportunities are there. Let's talk a little bit about your IT background. Then we're going to connect the dots between what you did in IT and what you're doing in real estate. How'd you decide upon IT, and tell us a little bit about what you accomplished there?
Well, when you come from a different country, you know that you, like a good friend of ours who have in common, is like, you got to go home every day.
Mm-hmm.
You hunt while you eat. Those are things kind of maybe like heavy to say, but they're so true, right? I only knew my uncle, I call him uncle.
Yes.
He works in a university, and that's what I knew. I was going to connect with people. So I started connecting. His background is in IT. My sister is in IT. I grew up with the projects I mentioned, but I was like, how do I connect that? And that's when my brain started to look into all these things. One of my first, he might get a chuckle out of this because he doesn't like it. One thing that Jim told me is like, you just got to go for what you want daily. And I had that structured mindset. So my uncle, my sister, my international background, the knowledge of business, I just decided to get into IT because of that. I saw the potential in Nashville. I have some certifications in project management, and I've been serving in many industries, from logistics to healthcare to construction, and now investing for a few years here.
Yes.
So yeah, actually, that reference that you made about it, $500 and 2 suitcases, that stays with me because one day I might even write a book about it. Right? How you can still do it. It depends on you.
Right. 2 suitcases, $500. There's a powerful title in there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And then, one of the things that I have to acknowledge about you is you're not just saying, hey, you did it all by yourself. You're acknowledging that you had family here and that you collaborated with other people. You're talking about the relationships you formed with people. Well, we talked about, you mentioned Erica Gunnison and what she's doing in Arizona, how you're collaborating. And then the Adams twins, Jim and Madison Adams in Tennessee. So you're not just, hey, I'm Jorge, I'm Superman, I have a big S on my chest. You are building relationships with people. And through those relationships, you're achieving. And through your mindset of service, you're achieving. Is that a fair statement, or am I reading too much into you?
Very fair. One of the biggest things. I'm not a great reader, Ray, because my mind is always moving. I gotta get going.
Yeah, yeah.
But Maxwell, John Maxwell. I was gonna say
John
Jack.
Maxwell,
Yeah,
yes.
I was gonna say Jack Welch, but he has such a servant leadership. A lot of books are about that, and
Yes.
I fell for it, right?
Mhm.
So that's one of the things. That's one of the things that I live by. Servant
Yes.
leadership. I would have an S. If I had one, I would be SL. Like, because I try to learn.
Ah,
I try to be not a leader, not super, but just a super leader, servant leadership. Sorry.
yes,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? Like it's just a mix of things. You cannot just be one. If you want to go far, you gotta go together. You gotta be, in a team.
Right, right. Jorge, when did you realize that you were a business leader?
Well, uncertainty back down in Latin America, some of the most beautiful places, one of the beautiful people are there as well. Like food,
Mm-hmm.
don't even get me started, right? But
Mm-hmm.
there's so much uncertainty. Risks are like an everyday thing. You learn very young that you
Yeah.
have got to work. You have got to have, if you're not structured, you might just, fade around.
Mm-hmm.
So then I would see my dad. He's a big, role model for me. I would
Yes.
see my dad leading like dozens and hundreds of people in these places, right? And I would follow him.
Yes.
I was a
Yes.
little guy. I've never been that short. I'm 6'6" now, but
Yes.
you
You
know,
are tall.
I remember what you said at that time. But yeah, man, I mean, just walking and seeing, and then I was able at 8, at 11, I was able to just like help crews of people. What we
Yes.
saw in the drawings, what we saw I saw that like that's what we gotta deliver. And our
Mm-hmm.
thing has always been in every construction project being like, we want to build long-lasting relationships because of what? Based on what? On you seeing what we deliver every time. And when you call us, it's either for coffee, to go out for dinner, or because you know that you can trust us in your next project because you have
Right.
an asset. You need someone that you can trust no matter what. So that woke me up to, okay, I want to lead projects. I want to be able
Mm-hmm.
to see what the team needs, what the client needs, and then it just grew.
Right. Right. Excellent. So in the mentorship of your father, his leadership, watching him, observing him, that was your mentorship relationship. So you're watching how he's leading teams and leading projects. You did construction projects together. So that sounds like that was the spark for you there as a young kid and growing up into young adulthood and eventually adulthood. You had and you have a great role model in your father.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've
Yes.
been blessed to he would tell me like, why do you always have an answer? I'm like that because I think. I mean, you and mom tell me I'm smart. I just think, right? So I remember also, many, many moments with him, but also being here, I realized that I could interact with people any age,
Yes.
any background, any ethnicity, any business mindset. Like I could just go and have a conversation. I'm
Mm-hmm.
also, part of church. I'm out of Columbus, and I would be one of the leaders there because I wanted to connect, Latin American community and the American community, always trying to connect, right?
Yes.
And there's many things that have come out of that. So
Right.
also being able to meet with mentors here on the IT and the business and the development on the investing side in Tennessee, that's been a
Mm-hmm.
great blessing. So yeah.
We do want to dig into your IT. There's one other thing I want to ask you about construction, from your construction experience. You can look at either your construction experience in Ecuador or here in the USA. Of all the projects you did, what would you say is your favorite one, or the one that you're most proud of, the one that says, that's me, that's Jorge? And tell us about that, and tell us why it's your favorite.
There was an expansion. I don't know if I should say names,
Okay.
just, you know, but there was an expansion on a big, big factory in Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we had a remodel of a building of a bank downtown. It was at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Dozens of workers, supervisors, like three or four, and we had to do that. It was over weekends. It was overnight stays. Sometimes I would stay in one of the projects and one of the two, and then my dad on the other. And then we had other things.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to do that. And just bear in mind, like, this is 18, 17 years ago,
Yes.
right? I was still very young. There's no Microsoft project, no smart sheet, no nothing that we would use.
Right.
So it was just purely relationship, purely understanding where you're going, why, and the expertise of the experts. Like, I rely a lot on SMEs, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I like to say to all my project teams is, like, I'm here and I am not successful if you're not happy, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know with your team where you're going, why we're
Right.
doing what we're doing,
Yeah.
what's our client's dream and vision. We got to
Mm-hmm.
drive towards that. So how can I serve you, right?
Right.
When somebody calls me manager or boss or something, I'm not. I'm here to help you. Just like, how
Yeah.
do we get there? You know.
Yeah.
So those two, the bank and the expansion of the factory down in Ecuador, would be a great one, because again, it involves so much, was a lot of risk. It's tens of thousands of dollars per hour or more
Mm-hmm.
because of
Right.
that factory being stopped. And
Yep.
yeah, so
There you go. Lots of risk, thousands of people, and they're relying on you. And as you said, the team is only successful if you're keeping the team members happy so they can move forward.
yeah,
There's your
with all
servant
the
leader
tools.
right there. There's your servant leader philosophy right there. That's why you have an SL on your chest right there. Good. All right. So let's connect the dots between what you've done in construction and IT. And I'll ask the same question in IT. Is there a project, or maybe you can tell us about a project that you're especially proud of in IT that you're saying, hey, that's Jorge, I'm really proud of that. Why don't you tell us about one of those?
Absolutely. One of the ones, and it's a very renowned name here. I was working with them directly. It's a logistic multinational global company. It
Mm-hmm.
involved Brazil, Colombia, Peru, France, United States, in different areas, different ports, hundreds of warehouses. And that
Yeah,
also connected to another project. It was a security project where
right.
I had teams in each location. So I had to coordinate in record time, having all those upgraded.
Yeah.
Okay. So record time, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions going through each warehouse. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way that there could be any issue. You have to have
Yes.
everything so planned. Some people I never met, I just know their voices and their names.
Right.
And
Right.
sometimes I would work at night, especially with Europe, and then wake up and then get ready. And I develop this template, super
Mm-hmm.
basic, so that all the data would be there. So I automatized the whole process so that
Mm-hmm.
we could be, you know, in the same page. And then you would see things happen.
Yes.
See things happen. Be there, be ready, be there, be ready. Have your phone on. There's no airplane mode when you have those projects, right?
Yeah. Right. Right.
So yeah, that's an amazing one. And you know, I was able to use a little bit of French that I speak, all of the Spanish with Latin America, and it
Yeah.
was pretty exciting. We got it done.
Yes. It is, you're very much in demand because of your multilingual skills too.
Oh, muchas gracias. I try to think so.
I thought you would say merci beaucoup because you were mentioning French, but yeah, there we go.
Je peux parler juste un peu de français, but yeah.
Euh, je parle un peu de français aussi. Un peu.
Ah, there you go. Un
Un
poquito más.
poquito en
Just un
español.
plus. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So true. Way. Very true. Now let's talk about what you're doing real estate wise in Tennessee, because we're moving up to the present day. We've started off in construction in Ecuador. IT when you first got to the States. Now you're doing real estate investments here in the state of Tennessee. Tell us
Yes,
about
sir.
that. How did you get started with that, and what drew you to it?
What drew me to it is I love delivering to clients, but I should remember that I am my own best client and my biggest stakeholders is my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was given some of the, most impossible deadlines, timelines, lack of resources and all that stuff, and I made sure to deliver. But that
Mm-hmm.
was somebody else's dream.
Hmm.
And at some point, I saw maybe 3 or 4 years ago, this thing that said, okay, when the boss came with a new, Lamborghini and all that stuff, and one of his best workers made sure he was okay. And later on in the afternoon, he asked, how do you get that one? How can I get to your level? Some sort of like that, right? And he said, well, you keep doing what you do every day, every month, and I'll make sure I get another one in 6 months.
Yes, yeah. Right, right.
I was like, come on, man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been fortunate to meet, the twins. We've known each other for like, he was actually my first manager here. He doesn't like that. Now it's a
Oh,
record.
really? Okay.
Yes, yes.
That's Jim
And
Adams.
Jim Adams, the
Yeah,
one and only. Yeah.
yeah.
So now they're just kicking it so well. They're just making so many things happen, right?
Yes.
Hundreds of deals, doors, and all that stuff. So I've learned a lot from him as a mentor and a student,
Yes. Yes.
mentality. And yeah, that drove me into it. So what I've been doing is looking into more flips. I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually mentoring new investors here in the Latin Hispanic area.
Yes.
Actually, I was so proud yesterday, man. Like yesterday, another two students, they partnered up like 3, 4 weeks ago. They're already
Mm-hmm.
starting today a new flip. And
Excellent.
it's like, wow, right? I mean, if I could give back a little bit, that's amazing. So I'm mentoring. I'm actually looking for new construction
Mm-hmm.
with another partner. I'm
Right.
gonna start there. We're working with Erica, who you mentioned before. She's amazing as well as me. She can see things that I would have never even think of thinking,
True.
right?
True.
In a T12 and a multifamily. So we're
True.
expanding on that area, underwriting more assets. And
Yes.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff happening.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Do you get involved in some of the land deals? I know Madison Adams, Jim's twin, is working on some land deals as well. Do you get involved with those multifamily land deals as well?
Not directly, but we all have, our own network of
Mhm.
friends or acquaintances, potential partners, and we do help each other.
Yes. Yes.
As I was also doing consulting and all that up to a few weeks ago.
Right.
I have not been directly involved in some of them, but
Mhm.
that's the goal. That's one reason why
Right.
I've joined them full time already for a few days, amazing days and great months to come.
Yes.
So very likely we'll partner up later on. Yeah,
Yeah. I can see that, especially what you're doing with development. There's a lot of complementary synergies going on there across the board.
absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm also blessed to know a few builders, Hispanic and all that, and great crews and all that. So it's the whole. There's so much out there. The pie is so big, and everybody can grow. You know,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
we keep on complementing and empowering each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now here in the States, and specifically in the state of Tennessee, what are you working on, or what have you worked on that you're especially proud of? Again, I like to go, that's Jorge. Jorge really showed up on this one. What would you want to tell our audience about?
Real estate wise or
Real
anything?
estate wise, yeah, we'll focus on real estate now. Yes.
Okay. Uh, wow, that's a really good question. Quite honestly, looking into the market on itself and the hundreds of doors that we have and we're looking into,
Mm-hmm.
we're developing this system where like we want to know where is the true KPIs of
Mm-hmm.
the assets that we analyze.
Yes.
So I would say just everything that we have already done in record time, that would be something I'm very proud of. From there, having I'm trying to think 30 some people, active deals, mentoring them and all that in
Right.
flips. Because I left that on pause for a moment.
Right.
That would be another one that I'm proud of.
Right.
And then the idea of everything that we are gonna accomplish in the coming months.
Yes. Okay. So mentoring the 30 something people that you're doing on the flips, That's a big deal, because every time someone like you mentors just one person, there's a potential exponential benefit. And if you're doing 30, that's 30 times that exponential benefit, or maybe that 30 is an exponent on the exponential benefit. I'd have to do the math and look at that. So that's wonderful. That is that's amazing. And then what you mentioned about the KPIs, what was so wonderful, you and Eric and I were going back and forth late last night over base camp. You know, Erica's off in one part of Arizona. I'm in another part of Arizona. You're in Tennessee. We're separated by thousands of miles, you know, from each other, but we're still communicating over base camp about KPIs and underwriting and your ideas and Erica's ideas for what you want to do for the system you're putting together for acquisition. So that's just wonderful. The collaboration is rich. So it's just a rich collaboration. Rich collaboration.
Indeed. That's amazing. I really like those late conversations. I was thinking about, like, it's so cool. Like you get into like a zone and you start just exchanging all this. You learn from those who have done it already and they have this systematized way of doing and treating deals and seeing assets.
Yes.
To me, really, there's no true bad asset.
Right.
It's there just the how to look at it, what's the true exit on it.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
If it doesn't meet a certain parameter and it's not, maybe not good for us, but somebody else will see the gold in it, you know? So.
Right. There we go. There we go. We are coming towards the end of our time together. It goes very quickly. So as we wrap up, let me ask you this, Jorge, what are you reading right now? Or, you know, blogs or podcasts or audiobooks or whatever, what are you reading right now that you would like to recommend to our audience?
Anything and everything Maxwell.
Yes.
That's one that I would recommend a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're getting started, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that also made a staple on me. And I've actually been reading the Escape the Rat Race with my son every 6 months.
Oh, yes,
You read it, you know. So other than that, I've been looking into how to raise money, how to raise capital books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Those are some of the ones that I want to expand into, because yes, I took a little bit of a pause on the flares and some of those things, but to do the new construction deals, to do, you know, the type of things that we're going to get into, we're already getting into the hundreds of doors that we underwrite. We all need to get stronger into raising that capital, which you are a master on, Ray. So yeah, those are the things.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're all encouraging each other, holding each other accountable, pushing each other forward. So I love that collaboration. And finally, how do people get in touch with you?
Absolutely. I have my JorgeMoscosoJr.com website. I need to just make some edits on that, but you know, you can also reach me there. There's my phone number, and I'm always happy to connect and grow together.
Great. Well, Jorge Moscoso Jr., thank you so much for joining us here at ROI Clear. It has been a pleasure speaking with you today.
Thanks so much, Ray. Looking forward to the next thing we're going to get together on. And yeah, just keep going.